Hey everyone, it's Jennifer. This is my week 14 gastric bypass revision update. It is October 4th, 2014. Don't remember when the last time I made a video was, so I'm just going to talk. Weight-wise, my official weighing day is Monday, and for the first time, and I don't even know how long, I either forgot to weigh myself in the morning, or I forgot to write it down. Most likely, I forgot to write it down. I weigh myself every single day, a couple times a day. So, and I swear to God, I would never be one of those people, but I am. And I seem to remember being 199 and thinking, damn straight. But I don't remember if that was this week or if that was another day. I don't remember. Past couple days, I've been averaging about 203. I'm not happy about it. I didn't think I would ever get down to 203 or 200 or 199. And now that I have, I'm harder on myself in regards to what I could get to if I would just do the right things. And so weighing in at 203 when I've been less than that, and I'm consistently around 200. That's my baseline, is 200. Even the 3 pounds up from that is really, I can't say it's really nerve-wracking. It's not like I'm like, oh, I hate myself, I'm 203 pounds. It's not like that. It's disappointing, I guess, because I could do better. And speaking of which, food-wise, like I said, it's week 14. I'm still not eating any kind of bread or pasta. I haven't since I had surgery. Not being able to eat those things was a last-minute realization. Like, as in 5 minutes before my revision happened, I was told that I would never eat bread or pasta again. And I cried, like pouring tears, cried. Because then I realized how real it was. And I hadn't planned on having to change my eating habits other than sugar. So to know that, I was like really freaked out about it. But it really hasn't been that hard. I have days where I really, really miss it. And since surgery, I have tried like 2 or 3 bites of my niece's spaghetti. And it was really good tasting, but after 2 or 3 bites, it got stuck and I couldn't eat it. And then like a couple of days ago, my niece had Subway, and she got a 6-inch sub, and she ate half of it because she's only 6, and she's this little tiny 6-year-old. And, you know, she put it in the fridge, and she was going to eat it later, and she didn't. And so the next day, it was just sitting in my fridge, and she wasn't going to be back till Monday, so I was either going to throw it away or I was going to eat it. And I caved, and I ate it, and it was good, but it wasn't as good as I thought it would be, but it was still good. And I did not feel well after. I felt so full, like from here to here, I just felt completely full, which means to me that it didn't go down very well. And I just told myself, like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing bread or pasta anymore. And I'm glad, because that's really the only changes that I've made, food-wise. The first 7 weeks after my revision, I did not have a frozen Coke, and I wasn't eating or consuming that much sugar, and for the past 7 weeks, so it's been 14, so I split it. So half that time I did not have any, and the most recent 7 weeks, I have had a frozen Coke every single day. The past 2 weeks, I've had at least 2 every day. I told myself for the month of October I was going to completely cut out the sugar, and then it was kind of suggested to me not to do that, because I remember right when I had my revision, I didn't, obviously you don't have sugar, and because you can barely eat anything, and I almost passed out quite a few times, and I was very, very sick, and I think it's because my sugar intake went from 130 grams a day, which is excessively high, but that's what I was consuming. I went from that to maybe 2 or 3 grams, and it put my body in major shock, and I was having blood sugar issues. And so it was suggested to me not to do that, and I think it's a good idea. So I was just going to cut out the frozen Cokes, and then I was still just going to let myself eat whatever I wanted outside of that besides bread and pasta, because I'm still eating cookies, and I'm still eating ice cream, and I'm still eating Reese's peanut butter cups, because it's Reese's pumpkin season, and those pumpkins and those hearts and those Christmas trees are the best Reese's ever. But I'm still eating stuff like that, and that kind of sneaked back into my life too. I wasn't buying that stuff for a long time, and somehow I'm back to it. So I told myself just no more frozen Cokes, and you could still eat the other stuff and you'll be fine, because I can't eat normal portions. I can't eat like American portions. I can only eat a little bit at a time, and I kind of take my time when I'm eating, and I chew a lot. So that helps. It really does help, because the longer I spend at a meal or whatever I'm eating, I don't eat as much because I'm getting full faster, which is good because that means I still have the restriction, which is the whole reason I had the surgery revision to begin with. So, long story short, which it's not really short, it's still a long story. Food-wise, I'm not doing good. It's only October 4th, so I can still try for the rest of the month. I still have, 27 days where I can still do the right thing. But I do need to cut back on the sugar. I think the frozen Cokes are out of habit and out of comfort, because it's not that they taste that great. I don't have a sense of smell, so my sense of taste is very, very dull. So it's not that I think that they taste necessarily that great. I think it really is just habit and comfort and part of a routine almost. So yeah. Dating, personal life. I ended my relationship that was supposed to be resulting in marriage in November. I ended that. Don't really want to talk about it. It was my choice, but I don't want to talk about it. And very, very quickly after, I started seeing somebody else that I actually dated last year. I don't know if that was the smartest decision to go that quick, but I don't really regret it too much. I'm learning a lot about myself in a short amount of time, because he calls me out on a lot of stuff, and because I don't have the pent up hostility, and I don't have years and years and years and years and years of frustration and bitterness against him. To hear it from him kind of comes from a fresh perspective, but I don't know, he has told me food is like a big, big, big part of his life. He is like a chef for barbecue. I mean, he's like, food is his whole life. And he's really, really good at the stuff that he prepares, and it kind of doesn't work with me, because he has told me, in his words, I hate food, and I'm obsessed with the surgery. I'm obsessed with my weight. I'm obsessed with my looks, and that I'm just not healthy-minded when it comes to this stuff, that because I weigh myself every day, I'm obsessed with the scale, and I don't know, maybe that stuff is right, or maybe that's just the way it looks to somebody who hasn't had surgery, or, I mean, he's a big guy, and I don't, I think when I first met him, I kind of held it against him, but now that I've gotten to know him, remembering what it was like to be the big person in a relationship, I don't want to make anybody feel that way. So I don't know what that has to do with it, other than the fact that he really loves food, and it's important to him, and he doesn't define himself by his weight like I do, and I do define myself by my weight. And part of that is just being a woman who society defines you by your weight. And when you grow up in that kind of society, that's just kind of how you operate. Not that I'm justifying it, but that's kind of where I'm at. This is a long, drawn-out video. I'm sorry. But long story short, I've said that a couple times. Anyway, I just, my surgery and the results thereof are magnified with him. And I feel more like it's more focused on. And I don't like that. I'm really pulling back from a lot of things in the community, and there's a lot of people that I'm friends with now that I really, 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 really care about, and even them, I'm starting to pull myself back, because I'm starting to feel like they're so in tune with themselves in regards to surgery, and they're doing so well, that I feel very out of place with them, and I'm feeling like they don't really consider me a friend. They just consider me somebody else who had surgery, and I'm a nice girl, so why not be friends with me? And I don't see my friends that way. If I'm friends with you, even on Facebook, and I've never met you, I'm only friends with you because I really care about you and I'd really do anything for you. And when I don't feel that being reciprocated, it makes me feel like back in high school when you were not the popular kid and nobody wanted to talk to you. And you're just like, you're just there. I don't know. I'm just having a lot of issues, emotional issues, trying to connect this with this, my head with my heart and being logical. And I don't have a lot of answers for things lately. I have a lot of questions. I don't have a lot of answers. And I'm still trying to figure things out as I go. And I'm trying to realize that maybe I don't need to figure it all out. Maybe I just need to chill out. But my depression has been really, really bad the past couple days. I'm on Lamictal for my bipolar depression, which I'm also told by this guy that I talk about way too much, and I tell everybody that I'm bipolar, so it's my own fault when they use it against me. But I am, and it's part of who I am, and my medication for that is wonderful. It's Lamictal, and I'm so grateful for it. But the formula for it, I went from a normal straight Lamictal to the controlled release, and I don't know why it's so different for me, but it's really not been good. And the fact that the switch happened now, when we're going into autumn and then into winter, when my depression's already horribly bad just by nature, it's just not been good. And I've been really, really hard to get along with. I've been really, really sad. I think 2 nights ago, I even said to somebody that I wish, if it wasn't for my niece, I would just take the whole bottle of pills and just not be anybody's problem anymore. And I didn't, the next morning I'm like, that was fucking stupid to say, but that's how I felt at the time, and that's scary because I even thought to myself, if I was in a worse, like, I don't feel like I don't mean this. And that's scary. And I don't feel a lot of comfort when I get like that with anybody that I'm talking to right now. I feel like I get a lot of, really? I would too. So what? Get over it. Or just ignore me completely, and you can't handle me like that when I'm like that. And I just can't. Ignoring me just makes me feel like you don't care. And saying things back like, oh, well, I would, just get over it. Or I have more of a reason to be sad than you do. That kind of stuff just makes me feel like you don't take my feelings seriously. And maybe you shouldn't, but you should at least just hear me out. So things have just been crazy. A lot of upturning, and we had a lot of stuff going on at work, and I'm not so sure that I want to do real estate anymore with my mom, even though I know it helps her sometimes, and I'm not sure that I want to continue with school, but I'm afraid of withdrawing from too much stuff because it is winter and my depression is bad, and if I'm just home all the time, I'm afraid I'll get worse. So it's just not cool. But that's my update. I don't even know that anybody out there in the world cares about what's going on with me, but there it is. So, I don't know. Hopefully, sometime this month I can make another video saying I didn't have any pros and cokes, and my sugar, I'm not really ingesting that much sugar anymore, and my weight has gone down because of it, because I'm almost certain if I cut out all the sugar, I'd be fine. I really don't eat that much food. I'm eating between 12 and 1,400 calories a day, and that's eating all day. I do have to stop eating at night when I wake up in the middle of the night, and I do have to stop the frozen cokes and a lot of the sugar, and if I did that, I'd be cool. Yeah, so that's it. If you have any questions, put them below. If you have any other stuff to say, put them below. I'm sorry this video was so long. I hate long videos, so I don't blame you if you didn't watch the whole thing, which if you didn't watch the whole thing, you don't even hear that I don't care that you watched the whole thing, so it was kind of a stupid thing to say. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have